What else do I have to say? All this incredible work I did right here. Fukushima, Fukushima, Fukushima. Folding 1,000 paper cranes. So during COVID, they're in there folding 1,000 paper cranes in the Weber State Library. I'm like, you doing this based on the book? Oh yeah. Folding 1,000 paper cranes. I says, you do know just a couple years ago, her great niece showed up here in Utah. I'm one of the ones that organized that. They reached out to us, by the way, here in Utah. The Enola Gay Hangar, Jim Peterson, myself, all that work we've done at the Enola Gay Hangar to bring attention to the bomb. The bomb flew from Utah. I have the atom bomb disease. This is important. I have the atom bomb disease. That's what Sudoku's mother called it. So I'm like, hey, get this. There's only 3 in the United States. We have one. I can get you a real one that Sudoku actually folded. She got to 641, folding 1,000, and passed away from the bomb. In Japan, the Enola Gay flew out of Utah. So they reached out to us and says, hey, we want to do a ceremony. I'm like, oh yeah. It's like my dream come true. Jim's like, Blanch, I was like, it's my dream. So we sent out emails. I wonder if they're nuclear tipped. We sent out emails to all the Utah media, to the governor's office, to Weber State School of History, to Weber State Science Department, to everybody, to the president of Weber State, Utah State, Southern Utah State, BYU, University of Utah, to their history departments, to every single Utah media. This is important. We're doing a ceremony for Sandy tomorrow. We're just putting up the plaque. Her and I, went to college together. She ran the library. She got brain cancer recently and passed away. They named a thing after her. It's an important historic. I just had a conversation with her husband as they're putting up the plaque. I look over and I'm like, what? So I'm like, it's based on the book. This is what you're doing, all of you here. Yes. How about I get you a real one? You've read the book. Yes. I can get you a real one on loaner here at the university. Well, yeah, we have a real one. I was the first one that got a hold of it in my hand. Second one that got a hold of it in my hand. Jim's son was actually the first one. Fold it up and just pretend. I went to everybody on this school, university, I can get you a real one on loaner. Is what you're into. Not interested. Now, I want you to stop. Just stop. I'm 7th generation Utah. My father, I come from a really famous family in this town. Really famous. In so many ways. Kevin Blanch, 7th generation Utah. The Enola Gay was flown out of Utah fighting the atom bomb disease, as Sudoku's mother would call it. They use the 11-year innuendo on CNN, Sancho Duque and the The niece walks right up to me. Her very niece. I was not sequestered in Japan. If you don't believe me, you go ask Kathy Iwani, you go ask Rachel Bedoya. She comes right up to me. Her niece, there's really a great photo of her and I together. Hugs me and starts to cry. Thank you, Kevin Blanch, for all your incredible work. All the early reports they've written on Fukushima, Japan, they were me, Kevin Blanch. Kevin Blanch, 7th generation fighting the atom bomb disease. My father, nuclear test. Don't you? What a compelling story. They reach out the olive branch to us, to Jim and I. All that work we've done in the Enola Gay, I've done that ceremony out there for decades. First reports I gave were right here at this tree. Guess how much Utah media showed up? International media from all over the world, including HNK, Germany, Sweden, Norway, Denmark. I mean, media from all over the world was there. It was packed house. No Utah media showed up. Who showed up from the state of Utah, from Weaver State? No one. University of Utah? No one. Jim was all, I said, does that surprise you? Yes, Jim. I said, he says, does it you, Kevin? No. No. It's disturbing. It's heartbreaking. So I walked through, and there's Chris. We're having a conversation about 9/11. She's the one that called the FBI when they were looking for one of the guys, you know, and we were having. I says, you're giving those away? Yeah. Take them on. So there's a football player I know whose mother passed away recently of cancer. I'm walking through, I just signed. Winston, here, you want me? What are they? And I told him the story. I says, you need to look at, your mother just passed away from cancer. When I was saying, your dad told me, yeah? Would you like a row of them? Yes. I said, remember who gave it to you? They're cool as hell. So one of the girls who was folding them saw me with her walking out, and I'm like, she says, I put so much blood, sweat, and I says, well, how come you don't want him? Well, I don't know. You got to take one. So she took a row. I'm going to give them out. I'm going to give them away to people who have loved ones or anybody who's fighting cancer. That's what it's all about. Folding 1,000 paper cranes. She got to see. Jim says that it's controversial how many she got to. We were talking. His niece says her friends finished and they did all 1,000. But what a story. Kevin Blanch's incredible historic path. Utah hates me. 7th generation. Why would they not show up? I mean, I told Jim, I tell him that this year again. You're talking one of the most historic events in United States history. He says, absolutely no doubt. They come, reach out. Her niece, her nephew, they give speeches and everything. Call me up. I have a friend because I help run the peace vigil in front of the White House, you know. I have since 1979. I have a folded peace fan made from recycled paper cranes at the permanent vigil at Hiroshima. His niece gave me. She gave it to me. Here, Kevin. It's one of the highlights of my life. Her coming up to me, I mean, with tears in her eyes. The Prime Minister of Japan, Nato Khan, came up to me in California, in San Diego, and bowed to me and told me, thank you, Kevin Blanch, for all your incredible work. Yet they ignore me here on this campus. I can get you a real one. It's like the real pond. We just had a conversation. They're like, what are they doing? I said, they're tearing out the natural wetland, placing it with concrete. Important, historic event. It just happened. Holding 1,000 paper cranes. Sudoku story should be mandatory reading for every child in this country. Every person. The book is beyond a masterpiece. That event that we had out there a few years ago. Of all the activism and of all the things done, and boy have I done. My activism could blow your mind. The things I've seen, the people I've talked to, the places I've been. The highlight of my activism career could be. Take them on. I'll give them away slowly. I just did. He's like, what? And I educated him. I'm like, it's a book about after the bomb in Japan, about a little girl, 11 years old, dying of the ATOM bomb disease, leukemia. Because his mother just passed away of leukemia, young. He Googled it. I says, read it, and just remember who gave you these folded paper cranes. Oh, it matters. You know, in Japan, they're Buddhists. You know what they believe? What happened to a beast that blows my mind. The ATOM BOMB Desiese. My father nuked to death in the Nevada test site. Try to make a sequel out of me. What a journey. This is path that this pond has been. That's the Majestic Mountain logo, by the way. We're having a ceremony for Sandy tomorrow in the library. She's passed of brain cancer. I was friends with her. She's way too young. Holding 1,000 paper cranes. Kevin Blanch, staying tuned.